Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So, yeah, the guys have to excuse the bags. I literally just woke up from a long nap, but I'm here. And I wanted to do this quick video. It was weighing on me pretty heavy. I'm actually holding my little, I guess you could say it's like the little wand that holds it's a stand that holds your phone up, but I'm holding it with my other hand because I just wanted you guys to get more of a straight on view of who I am. So yeah, I'm trying to get a close, but not too close, I guess. So anyhow, there's this word that's been on me pretty heavy. As I was reading my Bible, I was looking at the book of Isaiah this past week, and it was actually, just to paraphrase, the quote itself, it says, like, all the forces of darkness cannot stop what God has ordained. And that was Isaiah 14:27. I wanted to talk about that and what my thoughts are in terms of, what that can actually be applied to. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in here. So, all the forces of darkness, I think that can mean just any form of darkness that has ill intent. Maybe it would have been someone who was putting out negative present energy, or it could be negative past energy. It could be something as simple as one's thoughts. You don't even have to verbalize it, but simply just the thought itself is enough to send out the wrong signal. But for a lot of us who are divinely guided, protected, and who are children of God, just know that we are shielded from that. Now, one thing I was going to say also is that, whatever is meant to be, will be. It's one of those things that we all have our destiny. We all have a path that we're supposed to take on in terms of this life, that we're here to live out. It's not just to, live life and take a nice walk along the beach each day, or it's not just to be, again, stuck here on earth to work a 9 to 5. That's not just the end all, be all, if you will, when it comes to this experience. 111, as I said that. It's a lot deeper than that. And the more people become aware of it and accept it for what it is, and start to dig deep and truly understanding what their purpose is, what their journey consists of, the better. So I'll give some examples. Like maybe it was something like maybe a job you were applying for. Perfect example, I just thought about this. I remember years ago, right when I finished up my undergrad, I started with this one school, this one university. And I'll never forget, there was this young lady that I worked with, I believe she was, not that race matters, I think she was Filipino. Anyhow, we were the best of friends until one incident came up. So there was this one particular role that we saw that was available, and it was like the next level up from our current role at the time. We both applied for it. I ended up getting it. She was really disappointed about that, and she made a statement I'll never forget. She was like, oh, that was meant for me. Now, it's good to have that intention to say, okay, make that declaration, like claim it and receive it, like it's mine, but let's be honest here as well. God has the final say when it's all said and done. And if it truly was for you, you would have gotten it. Or you may end up getting it the next go round. So for her to make that statement was eye-opening to me, because it lets me know what her perspective was in reference to the entire experience. I understand that she may have felt that she was more deserving of it. Now, the reality of that was that when it came to production and things like that, I actually trumped her when it came to that area, because I was one of the strongest players on our team within the school. But I wouldn't gloat about it. I kept it humble, And I was more of one of those individuals. I applied what we call like the 80-20. So it was like 80% listening, 20% talking. So her saying that was enough to let me know what type of individual I was dealing with. So that right there kind of severed our friendship. So it kind of goes back to that wisdom I've gained from my own past experiences, 333, as I said that, in reference to why I feel that there's no such thing as being able to build close bonds. It's kind of like that saying, you live and you learn. And by her saying that statement alone was enough for me to realize that there is no such thing, 345, there's no such thing as truly having a solid friend when it comes to being in those type of spaces. So I say all this to say, you know, what is meant for you will be for you. Now, even though that situation, she didn't get it the first time, but when another one of those positions became available, she applied again. Guess what happened? She got the position. Now, what did I do in reference to that? I congratulated her on it. You know, I didn't go browbeating her about it. I didn't give her the side eye like, oh, she finally got it. You know, I didn't do anything like that. I still congratulated her. I think she was more taken aback that I even spoke to her because of how she reacted the last time when I got it the first go round. Sometimes to really excel in life, you have to be the bigger person. 444, as I said that. The bigger person in terms of not only what you do in your day-to-day as far as work, but in terms of just having morals, in terms of just being that upstanding citizen or upstanding person in general. And I took the high road. So, you know, I still continue to communicate with her and interact with her, but it was more so limited because, again, it's kind of like that saying, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I refuse to allow that individual to fool me a second time. Now, what's even more interesting is because most people think that, okay, well, let's say the next position you apply for, chances are you're going to get it on the first round. I remember after that, I did apply for another role. That was another step up. It was like maybe about a year or so later. So I was like trying to move up the chain here, move up the ladder. And, you know, most people would have like a bit of an ego, like, oh, if I got it the first time with this role, I'm bound to get it the first time for this one too. I didn't go into it with that mindset, especially because now with this particular role I was aiming for, it required like 4 rounds of interviews. So it was a pretty intense role and it paid pretty well. I remember thinking to myself, like, well, if I get it on the first try, well, that's great. But if I don't, I'll apply again. And at least I would know what to expect the next go around. So again, it all goes back to having a sense of humbleness and having a sense of heart when going through the process. And just knowing that what is for you, what God has meant for you will meet you. You understand? So this particular role that I mentioned that I had to go through 4 rounds of interviews for, I didn't get it on the first try. I was a little heartbroken. And the very individual that they gave the position to was someone, 1, 2, 3, as I said that, who I never would have thought they would have gave it to over myself, to be quite honest. So that was kind of like where the ego got in a little bit and I had to kind of bring it back. So I'm guilty of doing that sometimes too. But I had to remind myself that, you know, everyone deserves a fair chance and, you know, they were the ones who were chosen this time. 144, as I said that. So fast forward, another one of those roles became available, but it was for a different department within the building. I applied for it, went through 4 stages of interviews again. I knew mentally to be prepared for it and just, you know, rock and roll. So lo and behold, I did get it the second time, thankfully. And I was forever grateful and thankful for the opportunity. And now I was able to say, hey, I've been through that process where I had to go through 4 rounds of interviews for just 1 role. And the end result of what you would gain from it in terms of 222, as I said that, in terms of the income boost was well worth it. So I say all that to say that sometimes, even when some of us who are walking this path, you know, sometimes we can get beside ourselves. We're human, just like everybody else. Got to take ownership of that. We can get beside ourselves and think that, you know, how could this person have gotten it over me? I was guilty of it. But mind you, this was in my earlier years of getting into corporate, okay? So, but I took that as an example of why I had to learn to pull it back and understand that, you know, just like, you know, I had an opportunity to apply and go through the interview process, so did Jane Smith. And I should look at them any differently just because of production, you know, because maybe there was something that the management saw in that person that I didn't have at the time. But maybe I needed to spend some more time to build up towards it. And obviously that must have been a case. 321, as I said that, because lo and behold, that second time I did get it. So it was a lesson learned to never be so quick to judge. And that was that. in terms of that quick story time, as far as like how all the forces of darkness cannot stop what God has for you. At the end of the day, again, it's good to go in with the heart of a lion and the drive to say, you know what, I'm going to claim it and receive it. What is mine, and I'm going to get that, whatever that item may be. Maybe get that car, maybe get that job, that dream role that you were aiming towards, maybe get that dream home you were aiming towards. Just be prepared, because maybe what God truly has in store for you may not be that. It may be something even better. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so this is why I was forever grateful and thankful also, outside of the income boost, but it was the schedule. So my schedule allowed me to still work the traditional Monday through Friday, while the first position that became available for that new role that the other girl had got before me, she had to work weekends. So it alone was a blessing in disguise, because I was one that did not like the idea of working weekends. So it's so funny how things like that work out. 111 as I said that. So it's those little wins, you know, and I definitely would say that was a little win indeed. So yeah, with that being said, you guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Name a time where you actually thought that, you know, something was for you, and it just didn't pan out like you thought it was. But in turn, you ended up getting a better result from it. Let me know what your thoughts are. You can definitely leave your comments in the comment section below, or send me messages over on Instagram. As a lot of you have noticed, like, wow, I actually do respond. I love chit-chatting with you guys. I've actually had a chance to also FaceTime with a couple of you. So I'm not obviously shy about getting on camera. I'm completely open to it, very receptive, 155 as I said that. So you can definitely do that as well. But yeah, until next time, I'm definitely sending you guys love and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.